Hi, everybody. This is Rick Moore, co-founder at Bidpoint, and I've got with me Tim Pfeiffer, and we're going to talk about some services that are outside of energy. Now we're going to talk about some things that are kind of in the fixed cost reduction space, and our leader in that category is waste cost reduction. And so I want to introduce you to Tim Pfeiffer. His company is called Verity. We've been working together for a long time, and want you to hear Tim's story and how it works, and how you can turn your contacts into contracts with our waste services.
Sounds good. Well, appreciate you inviting me on the call here, Rick. And yeah, just looking forward to continue the relationship that we started years ago. And we've just enjoyed this partnership thoroughly. And it's worked out really well because you guys have really become kind of the primary sales arm of the company, where we actually take over the service end of it. So it's kind of a perfect batch essentially, because you guys get to focus on one aspect of the business where we can put all of our attention on the other side of it.
Yeah, Tim, it has been great, and we have had some success stories too, and really right out of the gate, we saw a significant savings for a lot of our clients, and that's one thing too in this whole space. When you do identify savings, they can be significant.
Yes, I mean, we offer a guarantee. One of the nice things about our contract, what we do with clients, is we offer a guarantee of 10% savings. Now, because our compensation model works where we split the savings with you, that would mean a net savings to them of 5%. But that's just not the only benefit they get. The other benefit is they get us as a service team. So anytime they have an issue with service interruptions, damaged containers, missed pickups, we're their contact point. So it's like expanding their employee base without the cost. In fact, their costs go down and they expand their employee base. That's the key. So,
And maybe we could jump into kind of what's a good kind of a client type. Where have we had success in the past, and what's the best kind of a conversation to have with a potential client as a discovery?
as a discovery, well, anybody who's just frustrated with their waste hauler, which is probably 90% of the people out there, they just get frustrated with it. If they are tired of dealing with contracts where they've got to go in and negotiate contracts every couple of years, that's something we take over. And if they're looking for cost reduction, where they can save money, we're the ones that go in and actually bring those costs down. We've had experience doing this for quite some time, and we have relationships around the country so that we can actually go in and sometimes have an immediate contact and immediate effect on it. Other times it may take a few months or longer, depending on who we're talking to, whether they have a contract in place, and then the dynamics of the property or properties that we're working on.
Okay. So let's get specific into some client types that'd be great. Like I think property management is one, right?
Property management, where they have multiple units around the country, and again, we work from coast to coast. And it really, most people that have a portfolio don't have it in a single state; they have it in multiple states, so we can work cross state lines. But property management's a great client. Senior living facilities, another good client. You get into fast food restaurants. We've had quite a few of those that we work with. But anybody who's got a permanent container, again, that have those frustrations dealing with waste haulers, we're the person to call on. They can have a single location, and they can have hundreds of locations. We can manage it all. And we've had one location. We've had a manufacturer who had a single location. It was a chicken plant, spending 12 grand a month. By the time we were done with negotiating a contract that still had 2 years left on it, we renegotiated with the existing hauler. We got them down to $4,000 for the same service. So pretty significant savings.
Yeah, $100,000 a year. That's pretty significant.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say so. So how would one of our Bidpoint reps introduce a client to you? What's the process for that? How do you like them to introduce them to you?
Basically, we have a form that they would fill out, a client data form that would gather information, but they want the client ready to go, wanting to talk to us and really get into more details. We do offer some support material outside of this video. Once they're involved with you, you'll provide them some additional support materials they can use in the sales process. But we want the clients ready to go, the decision makers saying, yes, we want somebody to kind of help us get these costs under control. And at that point, they'll have a client data sheet. They'll send that over and do an introduction to myself and the client. And then from there, I'll schedule a time to talk with the client unless the sales rep has done that for me. And then once we're introduced to them, the ball's in my court to continue that conversation and get them under contract and then do the work. The sales rep literally can go and focus on a brand new client. They don't have to worry about anything else. So that's why I said the dynamics between what you guys are doing and what I'm doing, your focus is solely on sales, getting that sales to me where it's almost closed. I'll do the final contracting, and then the workload is ours to complete after that.
Right. Essentially, once you've been formally introduced to the client via Zoom or Teams or whatever we did that way,
Yep.
That's a handoff from Bidpoint to your team, and you're taking it from there.
Correct.
Yeah.
Right.
And then typical, just so I can give reps and agents an idea, what's a typical length of contract and engagement, and what would that look like?
Yeah, so our contract terms are 5 years. So we engage the client for 5 years because what I try to do is I negotiate a lot of separate line items for the client. It's our expertise, our relationships, and our know-how that go into the contract. So a lot of time past has gone into our contract and structuring this, so the client's got the benefit for a long period of time. So we put them under contract for 5 years with renewal terms.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And just so the reps out there understand, as soon as the engagement happens, and as soon as the first savings are realized, that generates commissions, and you can expect commissions on a monthly basis for 5 years. So our goal is at a minimum to pay you out 60 times.
Yeah, and we've had a few that are 3 years.
Sure.
But our motto is 90% of our clients engage for the savings, but 100% stay for the service. Once they're using us to get things done, then they realize the value and the time that they receive back to go do their own business. They don't have to mess with or stay on hold or talk to a waste carrier for an hour or two a day until they get hung up on and have to start all over again. So once they've been in that situation and they've engaged us, they realize the service end of this is so important.
Right, right. No, it's a tremendous service. We've had great results across the spectrum and around the country. And it's just a matter of, it's like everything else we do here at Bidpoint. We're identifying places where businesses are being overcharged.
Yeah.
We don't know if we can help you or not, or if we get a look at your most recent billing statements, we can find out what kind of savings that might be there. And it's, being overcharged for something that doesn't affect the client. It only affects your bottom line. And in fact, in a lot of examples, it can increase the value of the business because it's a better looking P&L. So, well, Tim, I appreciate you and getting us to have a feel for how the Verity and Bidpoint relationship come together and waste cost reduction. And we're excited about the future of our companies together. And we've had a great relationship over almost a decade in the past.
Yes. Yeah.
Thank you.
Many more. Thank you. Have a great day.